Paramount's Western drama, Yellowstone, has been a great success, giving the fans plenty of memorable moments and characters. Speaking of that, it's difficult to imagine someone else playing the show's characters, especially the family man, John Dutton. But you'll be surprised to know that Kevin Costner, the actor who plays John, was hesitant to join the cast and almost turned down Yellowstone. Stay tuned as we discuss why that was and much more. First up, Costner nearly turned down Yellowstone. The Yellowstone TV series has become a huge part of pop culture, and we have no less than 3 spin-offs, like Yellowstone 1923 and 1883, besides the main drama series with Kevin Costner. But it might not have happened at all if Costner hadn't played the main role of John Dutton, and he wasn't sure at first. John owns one of the biggest cattle ranches in the US, called Yellowstone. Because of this, businessmen are always trying to make deals with him or come up with ways to force him to give up his land. But the ranch is not only John's way of earning money, it is also his home, which he wants to keep in the family for as long as possible. After the death of his first son, Lee, it's been unclear who will get the ranch because his other children all chose different career paths. This important choice will probably be made when Yellowstone is about to end. John Dutton is the epicenter of the show and one of the most loved characters. Even though it's hard to imagine anyone else playing family man John, the creators of Yellowstone may have needed a backup plan. When writer and director Taylor Sheridan asked Oscar-winning actor Kevin Costner to be in the movie, Costner didn't jump at the chance right away. Instead, Costner wasn't sure at first if he should take on the project. So, why did the actor almost give up on this role? That leads us to why Costner was hesitant. Costner explained to Entertainment Tonight that the movie's plan changed while it was being made, and as the lead actor, he became a little skeptical. He said that he thought they were going to make one long 10-hour movie. Costner was told that they were going to make one long film, and he admitted that he was cool with it. But at some point, the creators decided to turn it into a series. So Costner was like, you kind of have to look at things again. In the end, Costner went with his gut, which told him that this was something special that he shouldn't pass up. He said that he has his own reasons for playing the role. There's that window of opportunity where you've got to jump creatively, which he did. Recently, Paramount Network changed its name to Paramount Movie Network, putting more of an emphasis on movies and TV shows. The plan is to show 52 original movies every year, and one or more of them could be about Yellowstone. A person in charge told Variety that the network plans to schedule a miniseries or scripted series on the scale of its hit drama Yellowstone once every 3 months, which could be a spin-off. Even though there hasn't been any official news about a Yellowstone movie yet, it seems likely since the drama is one of the most popular shows on the channel. That's something for the fans to look forward to as they wait for season 5 to resume, but Costner might not be so excited about it. Moving on, Kevin Costner might not return for season 6. As Yellowstone returned for season 5, so did Kevin Costner's character, John Dutton. The owner of the Yellowstone ranch came back to take over as governor of Montana, giving the landowner more power than he had ever had before. But as it turns out, John Dutton was almost a short-lived character. Costner revealed that he had originally planned to do just 1 season and then leave the show. The actor sat down with USA Today to talk about the 5th season of Yellowstone, the new direction that his character is taking, and when he thinks he will leave the long-running show. Costner also said that he will leave the Paramount show when he feels that it's not right, which isn't a definite date. When asked about his possible return for season 6, the actor said that he was only going to do 1 season, but he has already done this many, which means that he's definitely committed to whatever he does. Losing John Dutton would be a huge change for the show since he has been the glue that has kept his family together for the entirety of the show. Yellowstone could still be a hit though, as long as other beloved characters like Beth Dutton, Rip Wheeler, and others stay in the show. But there's no doubt that Yellowstone, both the show and the ranch, will take a huge hit if John Dutton parts ways. And with Costner's directional attempt, Horizon, on the way, that could very well be the case. Next up, Horizon, Costner's Western movie. Kevin Costner is all set to start working on Horizon, an epic Western movie. This will be his first directorial attempt since 2003's Outer Range, and the Oscar-winning star told Variety this week that he plans to release the films as 4 different pictures roughly every 3 months. Warner Bros. and New Line Cinema are producing this Western drama film. But the question is, will this film debut in theaters or on streaming services? According to Costner, because of how audiences like to consume media changes extremely quickly, it's completely up to WD to decide how to release Horizon. It's uncertain if audiences will be interested in watching 4 Western dramas that clock in at over 3 hours by the time Horizon wraps production. However, Costner did reveal that he had initially proposed the film as an event television movie, and he plans to turn those 4 films into TV shows at some point. Costner told Variety that he's happy because at some point in TV, where you can have your largest audience, they're going to get to see it the way he envisioned it. We hope that Costner achieves his goal, but it would be really sad to see him leave Yellowstone. Here's to hoping that he stays in Yellowstone. It's likely, considering Kevin Costner is a wise guy. Speaking of which, one Yellowstone child star reflected on Kevin Costner's life-changing advice. That leads us to Costner's advice to Breckin Merrill. Yellowstone has brought a lot of well-known actors to the small screen, from Kevin Costner to Cole Hauser. Even though the show has a star-studded cast that could make anyone starstruck at first glance, it has never been afraid to put up-and-coming actors and actresses like Breckin Merrill on the map. Tate Dutton, a character in the show, was given to the 14-year-old boy when he was only 8 years old. The young actor had a lot on his shoulders when he played Tate opposite Kevin Costner's John. Still, even when things were dark and cold on set, he never gave up on his dream, and it was all because of his co-star. In an interview with Entertainment Tonight, Merrill talked about how hard it was for him to work in the cold while filming river scenes in the first season. Merrill recounts how Costner's one-question wonder changed the course of his life, no matter where he was. Kevin asked him if he was sure he wanted to do this. Merrill revealed he thought about it for a month, and Kevin helped him figure out that yes, this is what he wants to do, and this is his line of work. The young actor said that he'd like to thank Kevin, and that he's so lucky to work with such a great group of people. Even though he has some bad memories from the sets of Yellowstone, the actor looks back on every moment with fondness. After all, who wouldn't want advice from an Academy Award winner? Moving on, when and why did Costner ask that question? The aspiring actor said he was freezing as the crew set up cameras for The Long Black Train, episode's dramatic river sequence in season 1. Tate Dutton and his grandfather learn how to make a campfire together, which leads to Tate to look for thicker branches in the countryside. Even though it was very cold that day, the scene required Tate to fall into the freezing river after reaching for a branch. Breckin Merrill, who was only 9 years old at the time, remembers having 20 hand warmers in his pocket before that and between takes, but the heat packs didn't work. That's when Costner turned to him and asked him the question that made him think about himself for a whole month, and since then, the young actor has been more enthusiastic about his career. Next up, Tate is an essential part of Yellowstone. Merrill's touching story about how much he likes and respects Costner and his co-stars makes him think of how nice his character is on the show, which is often a breath of fresh air. Yellowstone isn't always as sad or dark as some of its spin-offs, like 1883 or 1923, but there are a lot of intense things that happen during the series, making it sometimes hard to watch and always putting the audience's loyalty to the test. People like John Dutton because they can relate to him, but he also does some questionable things and has many flaws. Fans of the show love the parts where John plays with his grandson, and it's easy to see why. Tate's age lets viewers see a different side of John when he talks to his grandson. This led to so many touching and funny moments between the grandpa and his grandson. Tate may grow up to have the same flaws as his grandfather, but in the early seasons of the show, his innocence brought laughter and gave the Dutton family hope for the future. The charming youth had his childhood stolen away following the horrible events he had suffered, which allowed some heartbreaking character growth for Tate, as well as introducing stakes beyond life, death, and loss of property for viewers. In the final half of Yellowstone Season 5, which will return later in 2023, Merrill will continue exploring his interest in acting by returning as Tate. The character will presumably still be hurting from a devastating personal loss when the season starts again. But that's a wrap for this video. Can you imagine Yellowstone without Costner? What do you think about the advice that Costner gave to Merrill? Let us know in the comments down below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you next time.